Okay. Let's go with the questions then. Ray Steve 1 asks, who is the lowest tier hero? Strictly speaking, actually we can answer that. Hey, Ruraw. 10 months.
Uni about to start up, so might not be able to catch the streams as much, but will when I can. Keep up the great work.
Thank you, my man. Just looking. I think I had it open on this one.
Welcome to Overwatch, Monsterly.
Oh, got another one as well. Thank you so much, Wealth Omnivore, as well. Ooh, there's sparkly stars in it as well. Interesting. I wasn't expecting that. Thank you, both of you, Ruraw, Wealth Omnivore. Very, very appreciate it. I mean, we can literally, according to the data, according to the stats, the lowest tier hero seems to be. Let's find across all tiers. Lowest played hero might actually be Doomfist. Could be Bastion or Doomfist. Maybe Mei. Bastion seems lower overall. Sombra's also really down there. But lowest tier hero seems to be Bastion. What I love about these graphs, by the way, is like how some of them are very clear staircases. So like Bastion, very clear staircase. Let's bring down the thickness. Bringing up the thickness. Let's bring down the thickness. Like Bastion's very clear downward trend, right? As you get higher and higher rank, you see less Bastion, which makes sense. Tracer, I think, is like the opposite. Yeah, like Tracer is just fucking enormous, right? Like, it's clearly a sign that something is wrong with Tracer when this many Tracers are disproportionately in Grandmaster compared to every other rank. Kind of an interesting one. Diva, downward trend, which is actually kind of surprising. It's actually very surprising because Grandmaster Diva is like super important. And Genji, again, sort of relatively high forward, except for Diamond and Master, which is about even. Very, very cool graphs. I love these graphs. I love seeing also where like Master peaks and then suddenly it drops down towards GM. Like Ana, Zarya, Zen, Mercy. Mercy is a huge fucking drop towards GM. Holy shit. You can see Mercy's have a hard time breaking the 4K barrier. But yeah, Bastion seems to be the lowest tier, which makes sense. Makes sense, being honest. Okay, bring chat in. Can you recommend a passive Pharah? I want to improve my poke play. Again, I would recommend watching like North American Contenders. So Overwatch Contenders is the tournament going on right now. Watch the North American teams, especially. They tend to start, unfortunately, they tend to start about the same time my stream starts. So you're going to have to pick one. You're going to have to pick one. But you can go and watch the VODs. Like, you know, all the VODs are on their channel, so you can go and watch those. Pharmacy is played quite often in North America, so yeah, it's probably going to be very popular once they roll on to the next patch. I don't know if they're actually going to do that during the season, but we'll see. Anti-notice positioning, there are good spots on every map that Pharah players should know to hide behind. Yeah, this is where like watching people like Valk will be super helpful, because they'll know where to hide. Do you think insta-lock DPS are bad in a comp match? No. No, I do not. The reality is this. If you don't insta-lock stuff, you're going to lose it. And you might think that you're being generous by going, hey, Jace plays terribly. Thank you so much, my man. Much love. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome on board. I can't say if that's Twitch Prime or not, but welcome, welcome, welcome. Get some scrub hype going. Oh, beautiful. So the reality is this. Like, there are going to be people that insta-lock DPS. There are going to be people that insta-lock everything. No amount of being nice is going to give you suddenly games where people won't insta-lock DPS. People will just do it. If you want to play DPS, insta-lock DPS. Like, that's all you can kind of do to counterbalance it. If you don't get it, you don't get it. The only, like, this is sort of the anarchist in me, I guess, which is this. There are no rules here. There's sort of the common courtesy of, like, you know, if you scan through people's profiles and you see this guy has like 200 hours only playing Reaper, and you take Reaper from him, and you might be sort of cucking him a bit. And so he might sort of be angry. But honestly, like, that guy shouldn't be angry, but you're still probably hurting chance of your team a bit, so you could offer to swap. But even then, that's purely up to you. That's purely up to you. You locked in the hero first. The rules of the game indicate that whoever locks in it first, they get that hero. You can't force people to change out of that, and it's just part of human behavior. So don't try, is what I'm saying. Or don't get, like, feel free to ask and say, hey, do you mind if I play so-and-so? And if they go, sure, then okay. If they go, no, don't get angry at them. Don't tilt, don't start throwing the game because you don't get Hero X. They got it first, they got it first. Fair enough, whatever. Like, you're never going to get rid of it, so To me, it's the wrong mentality of, is insta-locking bad? Insta-locking is a fact. Deal with it. Sunglasses. Right. Almost had a match-winning Zarya ult, but Pharah died with ult to Junkrat's passive. That's more funny than anything. Yeah, okay, good. It's not even a question. Just heartbreaking. Happens. No questions from me. I'm just super impressed by this cast. First time tuning in is way more impressive and useful than I expected. Good job, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. We do these every Friday and Saturday, so there's gonna be another one tomorrow, and then we're gonna do a pro level one where we go over pro VODs, like pro games on Sunday. Happy to have helped in some way. Check out Risk. There you go. Recommendations from the chat. Like, if chat knows Pharah streamers, feel free to recommend them. Absolutely. Especially if they're good. Give them some love. So what's going to be the deal with Pharmacy in lower ranks? Pharmacy, I imagine, the thing is, okay, lower ranks, it's kind of weird because it negates itself because the opponents play worse, but the people playing it play worse, right? If they played better, they wouldn't be at that rank. So it sort of all evens out, but what I would say is that Pharmacy is going to tilt the shit out of teams, and probably, like, if you have a friend that plays Mercy or wants to play new Mercy, and you play Pharah, duo queue like fucking crazy in the coming season when Mercy gets buffed, or you can even start doing it now. Just duo queue, play Pharmacy, win. You're gonna do super well. Like, it's so easy to do. Yeah, just go win. The thing with Pharmacy is this: it's a combination of two heroes. So what always tilts me is when someone goes. I remember streaming a game like this when I was playing Zenyatta. And someone's going, Zen, why aren't you dealing with the Pharmacy? And it's like, no, I was playing Soldier at times. It's Soldier, why aren't you dealing with the Pharmacy? It's like, I'm one guy. That's two heroes. You need two people dealing with that threat, if not more, because Pharmacy is so potent. The thing with Pharmacy, though, is it's very vulnerable to being sort of hard countered. So you pick up stuff like Diva, Soldier, even Widowmaker can sort of make stuff happen. McCree, maybe. Like, there's a whole host of different things that sort of work very well against Pharmacy. And start shutting it down. So as long as a team sort of, and the thing with Pharmacy sort of skews the entire enemy team comp to playing to a Pharmacy style. So if you counter the Pharmacy, usually you just start winning outright. So it's sort of playing with that in mind. Playing to counter the Pharmacy is how you beat it. So what's going to deal with Pharmacy in lower ranks? The same thing that's dealing with Pharmacy now. Soldier 76 and Diva are still kind of your best bets. It's just that the Diva's going to have to be a lot more selective, a lot more careful with what she blocks, and then the Soldier's just going to have to shoot that much better. Diva can maybe even help out with the rockets and just fly up and blast the Pharah. It happens. It works. Good. Probably been asked before. If you were an ice cream flavor, what would it be? Actually, it hasn't been asked before. I have no idea. Maybe a nice, like, ooh. You see, like a gingery ice cream. Well, that would be nice, actually. Like, I don't know how you do that, but like a ginger ice cream would be actually pretty good. Nice, a little bit of spice in it. Oh. Be good. I'd like to think of myself as a nice, refreshing sorbet. More than an ice cream. Tips as Pharah for killing Soldier 76 McCree. Getting close. Basically, think of it this way. Soldier 76 is a limited DPS. So the way I think of it is, let's go thicker, maximum thick. No, this isn't maximum thickness. This is close to maximum thickness. The words we are looking for is TTK, time to kill. Soldier 76 has a damage pattern. So let's say that this is a timeline of 2 seconds. I don't know why I'm using 2 seconds, but 2 seconds feels about right to me. Soldier 76 has a timeline like this. Let's use it in yellow for Soldier. Where he'll land his first shot, then it's like shot. Like it's damage. Sometimes you might get like a jump, so if I get the eraser, like suddenly like the next shot will headshot, so it's like twice as much damage, and so he'll do a shitload of damage. Pharah is more like shot lands. Right? It's much more staggered. And so what this means is that for a period of time, the Soldier 76 is much more likely to sort of roll over that kill point. He's much more likely just to deal that sort of shot damage to kill you. So you basically have about 3 rockets to kill Soldier in. So you want to put yourself in a position where you can land 3 rockets on him. I mean, 2 direct hits is going to do it, but chances of getting that down are pretty slim. And with the healing field on top, 3 rockets, 4 rockets maybe. So what you want to do is put yourself in a position where he's going to miss a number of these. Which you can do by just positioning carefully, diving down from odd angles, getting in close to him, so that like you've kind of equalized the playing field where he's not going to miss, you're not going to miss, you're going to win because you're going to kill him first. This isn't the best diagram for it. I'm aware that it doesn't really say anything. Hopefully you guys are understanding the concept where I'm coming from. Where you are just looking to put yourself in a position where your 3 shots are going to finish him. The best way I know to do that is what I call the Valkyrie dive bomb, which is where you're just diving down. You don't use your rockets, don't use anything, and fire your first rocket at a relatively close range. Make sure the first rocket is a direct hit. Then the second rocket is easy enough to follow up, because once the first rocket's done, you're going to knock him around. The projectile, like his movement, becomes a bit more predictable. Second rocket's easy to follow up, and third rocket to finish, and then punch if you need to. Best way to do it. Best way to do it that I know of. McCree, you want to be a little bit more careful. Don't get in quite as close, because if you do, he's going to flash you. And then just try and pick him off. Like, just try and dodge shots. McCree's a little bit trickier, because McCree does DPS in the same way that you do. So he's going to deal big chunks. The thing with McCree, though, is that he's worse at range. So as McCree, you want to be playing from a longer distance. You don't want to get in quite as close. Soldier, you can afford to get in close. McCree, you can't. That's simple. I feel like I choke a lot when getting to close 1v1 combat. Any tips? Go play deathmatch. Go play deathmatch. Go play deathmatch a shitload. You'll do nothing but 1v1. You'll do nothing but, well, 1v2, 2v1, whatever. You're going to fight a lot of people. Go play deathmatch. It will help you relax so much more, and then just focus on making sure that, like, the more you do it, the easier it gets and the easier it feels. And then when you're in competitive, like, just don't get in your own head. Like, these are just people too. They're just other players. One of the best pieces of advice I can give you is advice that Ryan passed on, which sort of trickles down from the fighting game community, which is like, if you're going against, if you're playing Street Fighter, you're playing Ryu, and the enemy's playing Ken, it doesn't matter if the enemy is a fucking Evo champion or it's a guy who's picked up the controller for the first time. It's Ken. Ken is going to do what Ken does. Ken is going to do Hadoukens, Shoryukens, fucking Ioryukens, or whatever it is. He's going to do all of these fucking things. He's not going to suddenly do anything special or new or different just because someone else is playing him. The same is true in Overwatch. Soldier 76 is going to use a healing field, helix rockets, assault rifle. He's going to sprint. Exactly the same across the board. So if the person and this is why I get infuriated in duels, by the way, when people like look at the enemy rank and go, well, they're Grandmaster, so I'm going to lose. Doesn't fucking matter. Doesn't fucking matter. If they're playing Soldier 76, they're going to sprint, shoot, heal, and fire helix rockets. That's all they're going to do. They're not going to suddenly fucking spring out a laser beam and just blast you off the map. They're Soldier 76. They're going to do Soldier 76 things. That's all you need to do. Just break it down like that. They're going to do all the predictable stuff. It's actually quite hilarious because I've been doing so much deathmatch lately, playing Widowmaker, that I can read Genji's like such a fucking open book now. I can put Venom Mines in places where they're just going to dash into it, take damage. What I know then is that all I need to do is do 125 damage. One body shot is more than enough. If not, just a little bit of a spray, melee hit, done. Easy. Easy. And it's just learning to read people like this. The more you do it, the easier it gets, and the more calm you will feel. It's just practice. Practice and playing. Should you switch off Pharah if the enemy team has a diva and a hit scan, like McCree or Soldier? It's not a bad idea if the enemy team is swapping to counters to really sort of screw you over. Pharah is a hero that can be very hard countered. So basically what you're trying to do, like this is where I'm going to use a judo analogy. Basically what you're forcing the enemy team to do is like put more and more and more weight on Pharah counters, right? They're going to start swapping to like Soldier, McCree, Diva, and they're going to be playing this very Pharah-centric way. So if you suddenly swap hero to something else, then suddenly it's like they're leaning all this weight on the Pharah, and then suddenly the Pharah weight just vanishes and they go, whoa, and then, they fall over and they're gone, and you can start winning off the back of that. So, like, tactical swapping is not a bad idea. Like, the same is true if you're going to play any hero that can be relatively hard countered. Pharah, Widow, Junkrat as well probably applies here. Doomfist probably applies here. Reaper probably applies here. If you suddenly change up what you're doing, you're suddenly in a position of power. With defense metrics getting nerfed, I predict the pharmacy will be the new subject of whining. Yeah, probably. Trace is still, like, the bigger issue in my mind. Honestly, Trace is still way scarier. How do you play well with a Mercy as Pharah? How do you encourage her to link up with you? We go, hey, Mercy, you want to follow me around? And then you've just got to understand that you are not only looking out for your own survivability. This is why Valk is fucking terrible to play with as Pharmacy. You're not only looking out for your own survivability, and this is why if I was playing with Valk, I would probably play Zenyatta because it suits his playstyle a lot more. You're looking out for the Mercy as well. You have to care for the Mercy. So if you dive into the backline, understand that the Mercy either is going to follow you and die, or she's not going to follow you. then you can't get mad at the Mercy for not following you because you've done something reckless. Play a lot more sort of passive, play a lot more pokey. Make sure your engages are a lot more decisive when they do go in, and make sure that they work. Is the only real way to put it. Like, you want to gamble a lot less, but know that, you know, Pharah still will take 2 rockets to kill people, but it's way more certain. Like, you have to do 200 damage. So this is a 200 hit point health bar. Your first rocket, when you're normally playing Pharah, like if this is the halfway mark, will hit about here for 120, and then your second rocket, if it direct hits, you know, goes all the way out here. If you're playing Pharmacy, your first rocket hits more like here, which means you only have to do this little bit of damage here. Like, you only have to do this tiny, tiny amount of damage to finish them off, and you're dealing more damage. So it's a lot easier to land those 2 rocket kills rather than doing 3 rocket kills, which is more normal if you're playing on your own. That's at least the way I map it out in my mind. So make sure your dives are a lot more decisive, your engages are a lot more practical, but when you do go in, understand that you are bringing Mercy with you, or not at all in some cases. Also make sure that you're jumping into the air if Mercy's in trouble, because that means Mercy can come up, and she's going to be safer up there quite often. Punch things you land with Winston jump, sounds good, don't see the pros doing very often. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Oh my god, Whaleful was a tier 3 sub as well. It didn't do the thing, it didn't do the thing, I don't know why. Thank you so much, Whaleful. I've only just noticed, but much love, my man. Like, that is hugely appreciated. It's a decent chunk of change. Punch things when you land with a Winston jump. Sounds good, don't see pros doing it very often. It's not too bad. Like, yeah, pros will generally do it, it's just a little bit hard to spot. There's apparently like an animation cancel you can do with Winston as well that I'm not too sure on, but yeah, I don't see why not. I recently died to Junkrat's passive as Pharah. Should I uninstall? No, it happens. It happens. Happens. Don't worry. Is there any specific way Big Chris from Team UK learned how to do that Winston shield right before the Pharah's face, killing herself with splashback? That happened way too much in the World Cup to be accidental. It's practice. Like, this is actually pretty common with Pharah. So let me draw Pharah doing her barrage. Oh baby, oh baby. See, this is the benefit of this, is that I get to practice art. And then she's got like a little helmet, and then it's like, you know, you like got like little yellow fucking firework things coming off her, and she's barraging down, right? And she's like raining justice, and there's fucking explosions and shit down here, like, right down here. That's what's happening with Pharah. And so one of the best ways to beat Pharah is you put something like right here, which is a dome, which will block the damage and do splash to her. Divas flying into Pharah is also a fucking hilarious one. You just fly right into her and she'll die. Really fucking good. Winston, you can also just jump at the Pharah. If you can't do the dome, just jump at her and she'll kill herself. A number of these things will work. A number of these things work wonders. So definitely worth doing. Like, it's a game sense thing. It's knowing that Pharah is ulting, and if you put a bubble down, A, she will not do damage, which is good, and then B, like, you can kill her with it. But Big Chris is just good. I like the fact that you're also calling him Big Chris. I like the fact that that nickname is sticking. We also have now BDD, which is Overwatch contenders very, very tactically called him Big Daddy Davin. The actual phrase is Big Dick Davin. I can say Big Dick on my stream. Let's see. How do you counter Pharmacy with the rest of the team is fighting your team at the same time? I.e. look up for Pharah and McCree kills me half a second later. That tends to happen when people are, like, I've talked about this before, like, what is your job, what is your role within the team? That sort of stuff tends to happen when a bunch of people are trying to do 2 jobs at once. So basically your tank needs to focus on tanking. Like your Reinhardt needs to just focus on keeping the enemy team back and occupying their attention. So that means that you can then focus on the Pharmacy. If the tank is trying to focus on the Pharmacy and not focusing on tanking the rest of their team, or focusing on tanking as much as possible, that's when those sorts of problems start to arise. So it's just a matter of, like, dealing with it. And then if the McCree is running up to you to flashbang you, like, if he's getting close enough to you to do it, you can just kill him. Like, it's... The enemy team is not going to stop playing. They're not going to just stop playing. So you've got to make sure that you are doing... you are still paying attention, basically. You should be trying to deal with the Pharmacy as best you can, but multitasking, basically. Is it bad to listen to music while we're playing, or does it make you play worse? It's technically bad. I run music on my stream is a terrible example, because it's more entertaining for you guys if I go quiet that there's music playing, and a lot of people like my music taste. It's also a good way to incentivize people to come to the stream if they like listening to the music I like listening to. So yeah. It doesn't help you, let me put it that way. But if it relaxes you, if you have fun doing it, then whatever. But if you can go without, go without. Dorado Route 66, Sebastian is on the payload. He has a Rita and a Ryan. What do I do to shut them down? Sombra, Junkrat. Sombra is the easiest one. Sombra is the easiest one by far, especially Route 66. Just EMP them. What the fuck are they going to do about it? Otherwise, you just hit them with as many ultimates as possible. And just like, basically the idea is, displacing them from the payload is going to be very difficult. Once you've done it once, don't let them get back on the payload, ever. They will have a very, very hard time retaking it with a Rita, Reinhardt, Bastion. Like, they have no good push. They're very good at just turtling an area, so if you just never let them get back on the payload, the problem vanishes. The hard part is getting that first step done of removing them from the payload and then going from there. So just focus all your efforts on getting them off. Hit them with a shitload of ultimates. Hit them with an EMP. Hit them with something. Blizzard is another good one. Means they have to move and they have to be displaced. Diva is also a very good way of dealing with it, just so you can get into position, storm the point, get on them, find a blind corner, find an angle that you can run in, rush around the Bastion, kill the Bastion, that kind of stuff. Like Genji on is like, people will think, oh, it's a Bastion, I'll just play Genji against it. And if they're all playing turtling around the Bastion, that doesn't quite work well enough. You need more than just the Genji. So you're going to have to sort of do that. Hit them with a Graviton Surge, hit them with a Dragon Strike, hit them with something to displace them. And then once they are displaced, don't let them back. Don't let them back in. That's the best way to do it. Proper target prior may have missed in match. So, this is why having this is super useful. Get out the highlighter. Okay, so super high prior, let's do it in yellow. Actually, let's do it in green. So, highest priority. Soldier 76 is pretty friggin' high up there. If you kill Soldier, the world is your oyster. And I would say that Soldier is actually even higher prior than Widow. So what I'm going to do is going to put the high priors in green. So I say Soldier, Widow, maybe Mercy, maybe Anna, and maybe Zen at that point. Like, those three are pretty huge. McCree is also going to be very high up there. So let's get McCree, and then let's get Zen. I could say these are the highest priors. Also, like, I'm going to put a box next to Torbjorn. Torbjorn turrets should be very, very high priority as well. Get rid of them, because they don't miss, and they're just, like, they put a clock on you once they start shooting at you, and you have 4 seconds before they kill you. So get rid of a Torbjorn turret. There's no reason to ever go into an area with one alive when you're not able to shoot it. Get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it. If they're turtling behind a barrier, then try and find an angle where it isn't, or try and blow through the barrier with a barrage or something, but don't try and do anything fancy with a turret alive. It will kill you. I definitely, like, let me get black, let me get the pen. So I'd definitely say, like, number 1, probably number 2. Then number 3 is kind of up in the air between, like, Anna. I'd actually say Mercy is probably lower prior than Anna, Zen, and McCree. And, like, this is also a shared number 1, the Torb turret. And, like, Mercy is probably number 4. It sounds weird, but, like, odds are you're not going to encounter all of these heroes in the same team. The reason why Widow is, like, the reason why Soldier is highest priority is that by the time you are done killing the Widowmaker, the Soldier 76 has already killed you. By the time you're done killing the Soldier 76, the Widowmaker's probably still killed you. You're probably still in a shit situation anyway. It's just a matter of, like, finding which one you can kill first. It's not like a hard and fast rule. If you can get on the Widow, and the Widow is generally easier to kill, but if you can get onto her, then sure. But if you're flying out in the open and trying to do that, you're gonna get fucked. So it's just a matter of finding which one you can kill fastest. Get rid of these two. If you don't get rid of these two, anything else you try and do, like, Widow fucking relishes fighting people that are fighting someone else, because you just nail a couple of shots into them, 2 body shots, that's all it needs, and they're done. It's also very, very hard to snipe as Widow with a Pharah sort of bearing down on you. And there's a problem because she can snipe you, she can heal the targets you're trying to kill very effectively, she can sleep dart you if you're trying to do something fancy. Zenyatta's the same, Discord just vastly limits what you're doing and he's going to shoot you out the air. Mercy's a lower prio because odds are there's only one of these extra targets usually, 1 or 2 maybe. And so if she reses for that, okay. But you won't be able to do that anymore. This actually might change with the post-patch. Mercy actually might go up, and so what I would theorize is that Mercy is probably actually going to go up to more occupy the 2 or 3 slot. because Mercies are just going to, like, if you dive and you kill Soldier, Mercy's just going to pick him back up immediately. It's still probably worth it because you still have like a second or two and it will flush the Mercy out. Use a 30-second cooldown, kill Soldier, flush Mercy out, kill Mercy, and then Soldier kills you. Whatever. Good trade. So it's going to be difficult, but that's very, very difficult to theorize. After that, like, the world is kind of your oyster. If you can get rid of Divas, get rid of Divas. Bastions, get rid of Bastions. The rest of these, not hugely impactful. Enemy Pharahs. If you're good at Pharah versus Pharah and you practice it a lot, like, it's sometimes worth doing if you really want to be that kind of player. You can go and try and find places to practice Pharah versus Pharah. Play that a lot. Open up a lobby on the custom games, bring people in to play Pharah versus Pharah, practice it, get good at it, and then you can start blasting Pharahs at the sky. That could be super valuable, but you've got to go and practice that, and that takes a lot of work. But the rest of these, not super high priority, I would say. Like, Diva, get rid of it as fast as you can. Bastion, get rid of it as fast as you can. Actually, Bastion will be relatively high priority, probably like another 2. But you should be killing Bastions anyway, and the times you see it are so limited. Otherwise, yeah, not too much else. It's just basically, what can kill me? What can stop me working? If I can kill that, then I can kill everything. And it's understanding that concept that's super important. At least that's how I break it down. Emotes, rocket guitar. How do you persuade your team to go through a choke? I lost my plat badge to a team that stormed through the choke, whereas my team just stood there and took damage. You can make it token by using Pharah as an example. Kappa. No, it's one of the most frustrating problems in the game, and it's one of the biggest issues in the game. People don't push. We ran into this issue yesterday when playing on the talent account, right? Pushing is a vital thing. The way you do it is the easiest way to do it, I find, is when you say something like, 2 are dead, go, 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 push, 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 push. Like, incentivize the people to push and sort of give them a reason to do it, and they'll go, huh, yeah, 2 people are down, it's 6 versus 4, yeah, let's push. The worst thing that can happen, because sometimes people are bad at reading the kill feed, sometimes people are bad at understanding what's happening elsewhere, especially if they are in, like, bronze, silver, gold, maybe even up to plat. Game sense is still developing, they're still understanding how the game flows, and so it's like, yeah, we got 2 down, let's push, guys, let's push, 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 push. A good way of incentivizing it. Other than that, like, you've just got to hope, and it's difficult. And I'd say, like, this is the biggest thing I've noticed on that talent account, which is, going to be placed around probably low diamond, who knows, to where, like, Ohm is near Grandmaster. The lower you go, the less people push, and it's frustrating as fuck. You've just got to try and do what you can. We have a clip. Let me do that properly. Like, okay, if you're going to link from GiphyCat, my tip is this. Get rid of the GIFs and detailed part, and then you get a full screen. Ah. So proud, bless him. It's not a bad shot. Good shot. I think Val got one of those as well on when he was at Gamescom. He was super proud of it. Super proud of it. Let's see. This is Pharah for killing. Yeah, we already did this. Pharmacy versus Pharmacy, kill Mercy or Pharah first. So the way it works is this. The Pharah is easier to hit normally because she's just less agile in the air, which sounds weird, but Mercy can dart around all over the place. And she can get out faster basically because she can dash someone on the ground. So usually, like, it's easier to set up a kill on the Pharah than it is on the Mercy, because the Mercy's full-time focused on evading, the Pharah is more focused on trying to position on you. So what you'll usually see people do is they'll start off by trying to kill the Pharah. If they don't kill the Pharah very quickly, they'll swap onto the Mercy. It's just a matter of trying to spot out which one is the weak link, which one you can hit at any given time. Like, if Mercy's near a wall, hit the Mercy. If Pharah's near a wall, hit the Pharah. If the Pharah is engaging on you, then you can just engage on the Pharah. Like, it's flexible, and you've got to be flexible. Just try and spot out which one's the weak link. The one tip I can give you is that Mercy, when she dashes, as long as she doesn't cancel the dash, and bad Mercies won't. Like, let's say Pharah's here, Mercy's here. Oh no, Mercy isn't there. Mercy is here. Let's say that Pharah is drifting this way. Black. Pharah is drifting this way, and he's going to end up here. But Mercy dashes to where Pharah was. Mercy is going to end up literally here if she doesn't stop it. Like, she's going to end up pretty much where the Pharah ended, just due to how the momentum works. So you can sort of very easily read where Mercy's going to be like that. It's tricky though. Tips for tanks dealing with pharmacy. Try and block as many rockets as you can, but don't be afraid to drop the barrier every now and then. Just, you gotta, the way I think of it is this: letting one rocket through is fine, because one rocket isn't enough to kill anything. Letting 2 rockets through in a row is bad. 2 rockets in a row is enough to kill something. 1 rocket is not. So try and make sure that you are only ever letting 1 rocket through when you're dropping the barrier, and then people are moving into cover, and then you can drop the barrier again. Don't just stand there and take all the shots, because you're going to lose your barrier very quickly. So don't be afraid to just take a rocket, barrier up, get healed, drop it, bring it back up, drop it, reposition, heal your barrier up, stuff like that. Still the Pharah dance? Never. I know, it's terrible, isn't it? It's terrible. Focus on me, focus on my face instead. One body shot is 120, so body shot plus venom leaves people on 5 hit points. The thing is, with Genjis especially, they run at you. Dead. Melee. Just, you have to melee once. Once. Easy. Should a Pharah only tunnel Junkrat? I've experienced Pharahs who focused only Junkrat instead of getting easier, higher priority target. The reason why that's happening, especially like recently, is that Junkrat is extremely powerful. Junkrat's overpowered at the moment, mostly due to his ultimate. Crazy world, right? I fucking said as well, I fucking said this repeatedly when people ask me my thoughts on the Junkrat change to the next patch. I said, people are underestimating the fucking ultimate change. Yeah, really fucking strong ultimate now. Basically, nearly unstoppable unless you have a Widowmaker, or P. Clark, apparently. So yeah, just, like, the reason why Pharahs do it is because it's basically a free kill. The thing is, a better Pharah will kill the Soldier. Like, let's say you have Soldier, Junkrat. If you kill Soldier, then you can kill Junkrat in your own time. If you kill Junkrat, Soldier's going to kill you, and it's a trade. So it's kind of a bad Pharah thing to do. But Pharah's still kind of doing her job of killing the Junkrat. So yeah, it's like Pharah's consciously decided to do the easier thing and make a trade instead of doing the harder thing but more effective thing of killing Soldier, then killing Junkrat. Unfortunately, as Junkrat, you just got to learn to deal with it. You are shit against Pharah. Whereas Hanzo is pretty good against all Pharah counters, so stop hating Hanzo. No. 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 No! The reason I get annoyed about Hanzo is this. Okay, let's take Pharah. Isn't she's a lovely lady. She's gorgeous. Let's take lovely, gorgeous Pharah. If I'm playing Widowmaker, and I want to shoot Pharah, I have to hit in this area. Okay? I have to hit all of this area here. Okay, I have to hit this. This is what I have to hit when I'm playing Widow. This is what Hanzo has to hit. And I'm being fair here, by the way. Hanzo will land his hits as long as his arrow hits anywhere here. This probably comes in a bit here. Anywhere in this yellow space. Okay? That feels a little bit bullshit, but I understand it in the idea that, you know, you have to sort of put the training wheels on him because it's a projectile. It doesn't obey the same rules. It's easier for Widowmaker to land a shot in this area than it is for Hanzo to land a shot in this area. Where I get frustrated is that Hanzo will never ever be reliable either. And he doesn't bring anything else but damage. Sonic Arrow is really good, but it's on such a long cooldown that its utility is minimized. So, you have an unreliable hero who, even the best Hanzos in the world, will miss shots reliably, like, will miss shots consistently. The moment they've released left mouse button, as I hit my earphones, the moment they've released left mouse button, it is completely up to chance that the arrow will hit the target, whether the target will move left or right, unless they're so close that it doesn't matter, but rare. So there's an element of chance involved in every single shot. Why would you have Hanzo if you could have something else? There's only one point in competitive, in pro meta, where Hanzo is actually really fucking strong. It used to be 2, and that one of those reasons was utility. And there's only one point where he's really fucking strong, and that is usually you see him like brought out point 1 King's Row. Point 1 King's Row is actually pretty much the only one. Maybe point 1. Like, you could probably do it on Hollywood as well. Maybe less effective. King's Row is just a bit better. Just the terrain favors Hanzo more. But the reason why you see it on King's Row is A, Hanzo can get a pick on that map more reliably. His Sonic Arrow works extremely well, like isolated in the hotel, stuff like that. But B, you'll always see it paired with a Zarya, because they want to get the Graviton Dragon Strike combo. And that gives them first point usually for basically an ult combo. So there's like a guaranteed to that, as long as both players are on the same wavelength, which 1, 2, 3 frustrated the shit out of me earlier with. So that's sort of why you'd bring the Hanzo. Otherwise, it's just not reliable enough. The case otherwise was Gibraltar. When people used to defend inside the server room, people used to use Hanzo for a sonic arrow in there, and then you just try and pepper arrows into there, get a scatter through there, and you know exactly where the enemy team is standing. You could fight them better, stuff like that. It's more of a utility choice. And you can get very good positioning with Hanzo on that map. So it's... My issue with Hanzo is, like, there are just better picks. Like, no matter what, mathematically, there are better things to be investing your time playing. Why pick Hanzo? And, you know, I know Mist is a big advocate of Hanzo, and I know he's fun to play, I know he can be satisfying to play, but it just frustrates me deeply. And I'm a very accepting kind of guy. Like, I accept that Blizzard has a vision for this game, and has a vision for these various heroes, but I just find that if Hanzo remains the way he is, he will never be satisfying to play against, and he will never be masterable. If they increase the utility, and this is why I don't complain about Scatter Arrow, because Scatter Arrow is the one way that Hanzo has a relatively guaranteed way of doing things. It's more his normal arrows that I have a problem with. If Hanzo was reliant on, like, if Hanzo's base arrow damage was reduced, Scatter Arrow was the same, his arrows were faster, and Sonic Arrow had a lower cooldown, I'll be happier. I would be happier to have Hanzo as like this utility DPS that can do these cool things and occasionally burst someone down with these abilities, but like had Sonic Arrow and maybe something else instead of Scatter that did something different. Ryan had the idea of like a piercing arrow. So instead of having Scatter, you just fire a piercing arrow through their team. It goes through barriers, stuff like that. It means that you can pick people off as they're running behind barriers and stuff like that. Like a utility pick more than a DPS pick. That would make me happier. But it's that inherent random nature of Hanzo that I don't like. I don't like it at all. I think it's harmful for the game. And whenever I get killed by a Hanzo, I never feel like when playing Widowmaker, it always feels like they hit here or here. It never feels like they hit me in the head. And that frustrates me. We'll take one or two more because we've had a lot of questions. And I've given some long answers. Sorry, I'm asking quite a lot, but if the enemy commits multiple counters to deal with a single Pharah, it'd take quite a lot to kill. Do I swap? Yeah, we already covered this. Swap. It's better to specialize in specific heroes or work on bringing the right hero for the right job. I'm stuck at 3.1. I'd like to get better and tighten my hero pool. Focusing on a couple of heroes is usually better. Soldier 7, like, if you want to climb, I've said this before and I'll say it again, Soldier 76 or Tracer. Focus on those. Best way to do it. They're pretty much always going to be relevant as long as Tracer doesn't take a massive nerf anytime soon. And yeah, they're always going to be pretty good. Trying to play everything, which is sort of what I do, is difficult. And you are going to hit a wall at some point. You are just going to hit that wall that you can't get... Oh, excuse me, my dinner. That you aren't going to get past. Should Pharah focus Soldier McCree before taking down healers? Yes, this is what we've covered. Yes, yes, yes. I think so. Winston's landing cancels melee animation. That's where you yeah, exactly. There you go. Let's see. I hope the meta is starting to shift with new Mercy towards counterpick meta. Doomfist messes up die, but Doomfist base comps will go down to a dedicated poke comp. Might we see fewer mirror matches in the future? Maybe. It's feeling likely. The thing with mirror matches is they're the easiest thing to do because you don't have to sort of constantly keep swapping and constantly keep changing what you're doing. It's just, it's easier if both teams just go, okay, we'll just play these comps extremely well. And then it doesn't get confusing. And generally you'll see people, especially in like public metas, take the path of least resistance. So it's easier just to pick these 6 heroes every single time. That's pretty good against everything. It's a pretty balanced team comp. It kind of works no matter what. Then going, well, they're running this and this, so you have to swap to this, and you have to swap to this, and you have to swap to this, which is a lot to expect from 6 randoms. Congrats, Josh. Your Pharah looks like a chromosome. Good. Okay, that's enough questions. I'm aware I'm like 20 minutes behind the questions as well, so if you ask them later, I'm sorry, but we've been doing this for about 40 minutes now, so enough questions. I want to play some Overwatch. Thank you guys for watching to the end of Coaching the Many at the very least. I'm going to play some Overwatch in a second, so don't go anywhere. Thank you for all the questions as well. Thank you to Bundy for submitting some footage. If you do want to submit your own footage, then you can do so quite easily. We're reading this in the chat as I scroll all the way down. Coaching. Hello, Ryan. Send it into coaching. OAMreviews@gmail.com. Include the hero name and the rank in the description. Also include if you're a Twitch sub or not. Twitch subs have a slightly higher priority. Bundy was a Twitch sub, for example, just because it's my way of sort of giving back to the subscribers. It's a nice way for me to do that. And then in the description, put in just a little piece about, you know, why you submitted this game, what your thoughts were on the game, maybe why you won, why you lost, what you're doing well, what you think you're not doing well. All that kind of stuff helps me flesh out the coaching for you guys. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching us live. Do come by and watch us live as well. 10 o'clock at British time, which is BST. It's almost GMT again, thank God. Fridays and Saturdays, so come by and watch us live. I tweet every time I go live as well, so follow me on Twitter if you aren't already. OneAmongstMany. Otherwise, thank you for watching to the end, guys, and I'll see you next time. Toodles. And there we go. YouTube's gone. Probably not gone, but close enough gone. Oh, hello, guys.